Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we're going to be talking about Mike Pence, who announced his run for said office of president this week. We covered that in a Christy Pence video, but we're going to be talking about the electoral history of Mike Pence and what that history is about, honestly, and see if Mike Pence is really fit being the president. Like going through his electoral history, gathering up what we need to know. So here's the history of Mike Pence. So Mike Pence has been in politics for a pretty long time. All right. So we talk about. I think he was a part of the House of Representatives. So He's from Indiana's second congressional district, right up here. And he ran. He's basically entering politics in 1988. He is running against. Well, he didn't. He's becoming a political figure. But the point is, the representative of that district, Philip R. Sharp, defeated Pence by a good margin, 53% to 46%. Mike Pence is right here. He's just entering politics. People are just trying to figure out who he is. So I think he's a little younger too. So he's more younger here. Philip R. Sharp, right here, part of Indiana's second congressional district. I want to see. I'm not going to go all day on Indiana's second congressional district. It is a Republican hold here. So, yeah, 64%. So, yeah, it leaned more Democrat back then in the 80s. That, again, the 80s saw farmers being more democratic and more liberal. I mean, more worker men when it comes to that. So, Pence loses to Philip R. Sharp in 1988, the second congressional district election. Here, he runs against him again in 1990. He loses to him in a much larger margin. Philip R. Sharp winning a landslide of 59% this time. Mike Pence only losing by a 40%. So in 2000, though, he waits a couple more years, though. He waits a couple of years, 10 years later. Pence is running it for, I think Philip R. Sharp is out of the picture here. He's no longer in the U.S. House of Representatives. So this throws the race into an open here. We see Mike Pence winning this election, finally entering the U.S. Congress in the 2000s. Now we can say Mike Pence has been in politics now for very long in the 2000s here. So he wins by a good margin, 50%. And we notice now Indiana's second congressional district is starting to turn to the conservative favor. Early 2000s. Here, you'll see, yeah, conservative favor. A lot of Republicans, except here's Philip Sharp here. So, yes, Pence defeating Robert Rock and some third parties, an independent and a libertarian here. And then suddenly, Mike Pence switches districts, which is kind of awkward. He goes to Indiana's 6th congressional district. So I don't understand what Mr. Pence had had a lot of work to get into that second district. He finally gets in. Now he wants out. It's kind of mind-boggling. So we're going to do Indiana's 6th congressional district. But let's see. does he manage to get himself in there? Imagine losing to that. So you'll see in the primary, Mike Pence wins 100%. He's basically unchallenged here. Uh, you'll see in the actual election, though, in 2002, Mike Pence wins a landslide of 63%, defeating Melina and Fox. Yes, this is a pretty conservative, as you can see, pretty conservative district. So, located right here, he went from up here to down here. So, kind of weird that he switched districts. So, Indiana's, so he manages to beat Molina and Fox by a very big margin here. 2004, winning the primary for re-election, getting renominated by the Republican Party. He manages to defeat Molina Fox again in 2004, in Indiana's 6th congressional district, winning a bigger landslide, 67% this time, making it a Republican hold. All right, we get into more of the blue wave of 2006. We see Mike Pence is being challenged this time by George Holland. However, he still manages to pull this off. He manages to win 86%. That is respectively very, very good. George Holland barely got anything, just 13%. You'll see Mike Pence wins again. He manages to win in he manages to win another landslide, 60%. It looks like the blue wave didn't really affect him. I mean, they don't really affect. They kind of do, but they don't. I guess it really depends. It can and cannot affect House seats. So Mike Pence winning re-election to Indiana's 6th congressional district. You'll see in 2008 he runs for re-election. Mike Pence winning 100% of the popular vote. He's basically running unchallenged. He is running against Barry A. Walsh. Once again, Mike Pence winning 63% of the popular vote in that election. Then we look at 2010. Now, 2010 sees Mike Pence. He's winning 100% of the popular vote. All right, unchallenged once again. And now you're going to see that Pence is being challenged by the same guy, Barry A. Walsh. He manages to do a better score, 66% of the popular vote, managing to win re-election. So, and now we are in 2012. As you know, Indiana, you'll see Mike Pence is up for re-election, but he says, I'm going to put this one aside and I'm going to run for governor. Okay, so Mike Pence is a very popular option. You'll see he wins the Republican primary unopposed. That throws that one off. But let's see in the actual election. That actual election, for some reason, was very close. John R. Gregg performed a very good performance of basically 46%. Mike Pence managed to win by only a very small margin, like 2% of the by the victory margin. You'll see John R. Gregg performed very well in the Chicagoland, and I believe Chicagoland ends like right here, but still he does very well in the coasts, even in great farmland areas near the Kentucky border. Indianapolis, of course, goes to his favor, but you'll see, yes, Mike Pence barely won this election here. So it's not all as it seems. Yeah, a win's a win, but still, Mike Pence here underperformed the latest elections record, which in 2008, Mitch Daniels won by 57%, and that was a landslide, despite Obama carrying that state in 2008. So yeah, it's kind of So I would say this is more of a morale victory for Democrats, seeing that they carried out this. And let's see the polling. Yeah, some polls said it would be close, 50% to 32%. Yeah, people are like, oh yeah, it's going to be totally, and you'll see minus 8.35%. Democrats gained 6.52% of votes, as Republicans lost 8% of votes. So yeah, that really shows how, like I said before a couple of videos ago, how impactful his leadership is. So keep in mind, not a very good, strong leader. You'll see in 2016, he decides to run for governor again. He is easily renominated, 100% of the vote. But oh wait, that's silly. There's no election here. That's because Mike Pence decided to run for vice president. Trump gave him the special coin to be the president, so they chose Eric Holcomb. I believe Eric Holcomb was who wasn't running in the election was replaced, despite Mike Pence winning the primaries. So Eric Holcomb here, and he does poor too, 51% to 45%. But don't worry, Holcomb does better in 2020, 56%. It's not, which is pretty good. But anyway, so 2016 results, Mike Pence won 100% of the popular vote, doesn't run in the general election, gets chosen by Donald Trump. United States vice presidential elections, nothing more important. Shows Tim Kaine winning by, oh yeah, this is the presidential election result. Anyway, what do you guys think of Mike Pence? Is Mike Pence the one? I honestly don't think he should. I honestly don't think Mike Pence is a good option for the Republicans. Just look at the electoral record. He has failed to get into office 2 elections in the U.S. Congress. He managed to underperform a huge record in 2012. Anyway, what do you guys think? Anyway, thank you all for watching this episode. And I'll see you all in the next political episode.